Hello there, you beautiful people, and welcome to the only game where surviving does in fact mean thriving. It is Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever, and today we're watching a 1v1 played on the Twin Rivers map. It is a classic. And without a further ado, let's get right into player introductions, starting with the red player in the north and ending with the blue player in the south. And we're going to be starting with the red UEF, going first, land at 1282 rating. It is none other than Demon Streamer 666. Now, of course, we have his opponent down to the south, who is another UEF player, who is, of course, blue in color, with 1327 rating behind his name, which just so happens to be Lexicon 7. Now, of course, we can look at the map itself. Twin Rivers is a classic map. It has been around in FAF for oh so long a time, and of course we're looking at a grand total of around 10,000 reclaim for these players to scoop into their proverbial coffers and spend on various things and weapons of war. So of course we're gonna see some action going down here. We got ourselves a Mech Marine, and Snoop already out for Demon Streamer. Gonna have to see if he can get aggressive with that and get any real damage down. Meanwhile, Lexicon not going for any aggressive units as of just yet, and does finally get a Mech Marine off the line, but then pauses the factory, wants the presumably power that factory is using to be going into probably building more power is what he's doing. And of course, these two players, we can go ahead and hit the home screen, turn off the mini-map just temporarily. I will turn it back on. Look at their build orders and see exactly what they're up to. And actually, we know what, we can get the mini-map back on already. We'll just place it in the middle of the screen for now. We do have multiple roving bands of harassing units now coming online for Demon Streamer. He wants to use Mech Marine Snoop combos to get a little bit of work done for himself. The overall builds for these players very similar, just land factory, lots of power. Lexicon has not decided what his second factory will be. In fact, it's going to be a land factory, which is very telling, as I believe the second factory for Demon Streamer is going to be air, which means the players have very different priorities. As an engineer about to go down to the Mech Marine over here, down to 24 HP, and let's go ahead and put the game back to the normal screen. Mech Marine ran away from that engineer. He's gonna come back. He finishes the job. He completes the assassination, but he goes down for the effort. That's about as well as I play Hitman, the Hitman series myself. I generally end up going in, shooting somebody, and then getting found out and having to either have a gunfight to get out or just dying. Now, of course, up here to the north, we have ourselves Mech Marine out from Lexicon 7. He is going to be trying to get his own amount of damage done, although the damage done down onto Lexicon 7 by these Mech Marines hasn't been that substantial, if I'm completely honest with you. He's gotten one engineer death, but he's built more engineers, I feel, than his opponent. We have very similar expansion routes going on between these two players, and we also have a Mech Marine here. This would be a very, very damaging kill onto this engineer. He'd have to reroute this engineer over here further north down to the south to regrab this, and unfortunately for him, it is almost assured that Lexicon 7 going to lose this engineer here, as that Mech Marine does turn back around and show up for the final blow as he fires his little arm cannons at the unsuspecting engineer. And over here to the north, we also have an engineer under threat from Lexicon 7's Mech Marine if it does move over here to this area. But unfortunately, if it takes too long, if Lexicon just forgets about it, it's going to be absolutely no threat as a factory going up here for Demon Streamer, playing it a little bit safer by building a factory up there instead of just sending the engineer to go get more mexes. Does have another engineer on the way back here. I think this engineer is queued up to build, yep, the hydrocarbon, but that is unfortunately going to walk right into a Mech Marine, and that's going to be a very, very sad time. We now have an engineer out from Lexicon, going to go for the cliff build for a factory over there. We don't have anything similar coming out from Demon Streamer, but you have to remember he did get up that T1 air factory so early on, and he is working on a transport. Once he has enough power, I'm sure he will pursue that in a little bit more of a focused sense. But right now, one big thing that's showing up for us is Lexicon not going for the air factory, not expending the power budget for that. means that he's in a really good position. He's getting out a lot more land units a lot quicker. 3 land factories versus 5 already done for Lexicon. Lexicon looking pretty strong here and does just have units out on the field everywhere. And you can see there's some units out on the field for Demon Streamer here too, but he has like 1-2 units out on the field at any given time, whereas Lexicon already moving out with units in groups of 2 or 3, or down here in this case like 10 units just moving out onto the field. So he is looking very strong on the ground game right now. Of course, reclaim-wise, though, Demon Streamer far ahead, 2.7 thousand reclaim versus 567, and that means that Lexicon is actually ahead economically, but does not have any T2 mexes as of yet, has just done better at claiming the mexes that are his, as a few T2 mexes have been at least started up and one finished already for Demon Streamer, a second one going to finish up here soon, and he should skyrocket into the lead as far as mass economy goes right now. Yes, he does, and he does get this transport out, which he's going to be able to use to send down to this southern island down here to take over that for his own uses. And if you enjoy the FAF content, please consider liking and subscribing on this video. I won't bug you all too much more about it. Demon Streamer now, of course, setting up more forward land production, but does need to be careful, does need to worry about these units that are going to make their way into the backline. They could remove all of this economic advantage he's managed to grow for himself. Does he have a radar? He does have a radar, but it's back here. It's not spotting out everything just yet. He's going to see more blips showing up here in the short term, and that's going to mean he needs to send all reinforcing units down here and deal with this, as this could have dangerous implications for the ongoing situation in this game, and he just doesn't have the same amount of units as Lexicon. Lexicon's still doing better on unit production, did manage to get 3 engineers dropped over here, and is going to drop some more engineers over here to the south, but that's already been spotted out. Did Lexicon actually notice it? That is the question. If Lexicon didn't notice this, this could be a huge play coming out from Demon Streamer, but he yet again decides to throw the transport just like right where the enemy structures are, so that's going to be seen. And once Lexicon does respond to that, that will be good for him. That's going to be a bit of time and an APM wasted for Demon Streamer. He's going to try and throw up a PD. Just needs to reclaim this engineer and is relatively safe. If he does so, he's maybe going to get the PD down in time. Engineer wars going on over here. We also have that run by that's going into the base of Demon Streamer right now. It does seem to be getting cleaned up slowly, but it's going to get some damage done. And a 95% done PD. Doesn't finish because he didn't give a reclaim order. Very, very sad to see that one going down. And now, of course, we see Demon Streamer fighting up against Lexicon in his main base. He's gone for this more tall economic strategy, but he just doesn't have the units to protect what's his. Sure, he has some units over here that are kind of cutting off reinforcements for Lexicon from moving up to the north, but Lexicon already has an entire army up here. He doesn't need reinforcements because he already has enough to leverage it into economic damage down onto Demon Streamer, who is, of course, in a very rough position this game. Gonna have to figure out what he needs to do to get back some of this land control. This map control, I should say, and of course has set up this area down here, and that's going to be uncontested for a very long time, if not for the entire game. But Lexicon, now moving forward, doesn't have any upgrade on the comm, so does need to be a little bit careful. No upgrade for Demon Streamer as well. But we're looking at a situation over here. Lexicon has fully denied the easiest expansion for Demon Streamer to take. And that's going to be very difficult for him to manage. Like, he's going to have comparable economy thanks to building up those T2 mexes, but that's just a not good situation right now for Demon Streamer. Luckily, he is getting a lot of reclaim for his efforts, meaning total he's gotten more mass this game than his opponent. But he's invested most of that mass advantage, actually more than that mass advantage, into T2 mexes, and T2 mexes are great, but they don't win you wars. You know what wins you wars? Tanks. And right now, Demon Streamer really does not have any to his name. He's got very small bands, tactical squads of tanks, but they just aren't going to be enough. Panic building a PD back here, and luckily he should have the mass economy for it. In storage, has 600 mass in storage right now, so he's balancing his economy relatively well. But this fight here, it's going to go poorly for him, and he's probably going to lose quite a little bit. I mean, he is going to clear this out. And he does have T2 land finished up. And his opponent, I'm not seeing... He has T2 land up to 80%, so he's not going to be too far behind in that either. Lexicon really running away with the game right now, in my opinion. Just has so much control over the map, control over how this game is going, and now is threatening to shut down some of Demon Streamer's production, and he really can't afford to lose production at this phase. He's already behind on units. You still need the factories to be able to catch up on that number. He is going for T2 units now, has multiple factories, pumping out pillars, pumping out skyboxers, pumping out parashields. He's going to be in a good position once he gets all of those out onto the field and in numbers, but until then, he's just going to be sitting here watching his own factories go up in flames, and oh no, it's a disaster here for Demon Streamer 666. I'm going to go ahead and take a drink. Make sure you stay hydrated as you go down below and comment what your favorite color is and why. And if it isn't cyan, you're wrong. Now, of course, we're looking at Demon Streamer over here. He's starting to throw up PD of both T1 and T2 variety as he's going to be assaulted by the main force out from Lexicon. Gonna turn the unit icons back on here since they're both UEF. Kind of hard to tell who's doing what. The pillars here are going to be of high value. Demon Streamer's Calm itself will also be able to get a decent amount of value here. Nice overcharge coming out from a Lexicon 7 there. And he does still have a lot of units showing up, but these pillars are going to be extremely effective up into this T1 Striker force. And not to mention all of the PD going up right now. The Triad going to take out units with one hit. These plasma guns that are being thrown up for Demon Streamer are going to be formidable. And this is more of a mass dump than a successful attack. No real hard targets going down. And whenever we press end and we look at it from this perspective, we're looking at 4,000 reclaim. And we've already seen Demon Streamer a very reclaim-oriented player, so maybe he can use that to skyrocket himself into a lead here. But he's still struggling with map control. You can still see things like this Lobo and this Mech Marine just preventing. Oh no. Oh man, that was sad. That was very sad for Demon Streamer. But critically, he's not that far behind economically. He's 16 mass a second behind, and he's getting a lot of reclaim. He's keeping the total mass generated this game close, if not being ahead, through reclaim. So it's a little bit deceptive, the map control here, but as the game goes on, as long as Lexicon properly ecos up, it's gonna be fine. Apparently down here there was a drop out from Demon Streamer that we did manage to miss. I think there was more pressing things going on, and that drop did in fact manage to get quite a bit of damage done. 3 mechs is going down. No way to tell if any of those were upgrading to T2, but it could have been relatively likely, given that those are some very safe mechs normally. T1 Bomber showed up for Demon Streamer. Going to be trying to use that to get some damage down onto this army. Triad's now starting to be thrown up by a T2 Engineer up here, and T2 now on the way for Lexicon. Wants to get himself up some PD creep, but I think that's just kind of a wrong call here, as Demon Streamer, he already has some T2 PD up. He's already firebasing pretty hard, so he should be alright. Has already reclaimed the majority of that mass there, and now over 10,000 reclaim. And I wonder what he's throwing that reclaim into. Honestly, I'm not quite sure. Does he just have... He's just keeping it in storage. I'm not sure what he's spending it on. He already has all of these to T2. Does he have any mexes back here going T2? All but one of them are almost T2. So he's going to be sitting on 3 more T2 mexes, and that might skyrocket him to the lead here. No, it will not. Lexicon has a few of his own T2 mexes up and just has all of the mexes on his side of the map under his control, including one of the ones on this side of the map. Everybody was living in harmony as the 2 colored mexes stared each other down, and then the evil engineer showed up to capture the mechs of the blue player, breaking the fragile peace and thrusting the game into war. All right. And Demon Streamer has managed to recover quite well in the past couple of minutes. He went from looking like he might have been out of the game to being very much so in a decent position here. Still behind economically, and that is down to map control. But can still recover in this game and does have a technologically superior force here. He has a lot of T2, a lot of this force, while there are Mongoose and Pillars mixed in here, a lot of this force for Lexicon is still T1 spam, and it's just not going to hold up against Pillars, and of course Parashield's going to be extremely valuable in the fights to come, as long as Demon Streamer can keep the power budget under control. That's the big thing here. You're gonna have to be worried about the power budget. A few Mongoose show up to fire their Gatling guns and their missiles into the commander of Demon Streamer, and now they're going to come in, try and get some damage down onto the build power. They do manage it, as I almost choke on air. And over here to the west, we have a bit of a fight breaking out between Pillars and Strikers, and unfortunately for the Strikers, this only ever goes one way. And the force over here for Lexicon over on the northern side of the map is absolutely dismantled by the superior force out from Demon Streamer. But now this force for Demon Streamer is going to be suffering from attrition here. Sure, this is just T1 spam, but enough of it will kill T2 units. As you can see here, Pillars taking a lot of shots from Strikers, and Strikers dying en masse to the Pillars, but still, these units are going to be dangerous, and as long as Lexicon can maintain control of this area, he can get into that reclaim field, get the economy really going. But if Demon Streamer does manage to hold on here and stop these units out from Lexicon, that's going to be another big reclaim field. And as we've seen, he's very focused on that. A couple of Mongoose going over here to the right for a run by. Going to be a little bit of harassment. Lexicon been on top of harassment throughout this game. Now has a bunch of units pushing in towards the back line of Demon Streamer. Going to be pushing in towards all of these T2 mexes that he got from reclaiming the fight that went into his main base. And he's now starting to throw up some more PD, but none of this PD is in a position to actually protect these T2 structures, so he's going to have to send something over there, but his entire force has been gunned down by a couple of Triads and some T2 units now coming out from Lexicon, and Demon Streamer is back to this situation of just not really having any units on the field. He's done a tech swap. He's up to T3 units. But how's he going to afford to build them when all of his T2 mexes in the backline are being raided and pillaged? Lexicon. He's the Viking of the future age. He's pillaging those villages. And unfortunately, actually, he's not going to kill that many T2 mexes because he's walking into PD and enemy tanks. Interesting that no huge damage. Like, a T2 mex isn't nice to lose, but that's all he really lost was one T2 mex, and I guess these ones in the front, but he hasn't had them for the majority of the game. And Demon Streamer is just continuing to hold out. He's turtling up here. We have another fight breaking out. Let's look at it from the perspective of Demon Streamer as he tries to hold this wave of blue from breaking into his base, and yet again, Lexicon overestimating his ability to deal a damaging blow onto Demon Streamer's main base. Demon Streamer has constructed a fortress, and he is PD creeping in now, and he should be able to get some damage done with the PD creep, but as soon as some intel shows up, or as soon as these Titans move forward, they should be dealt with. And the Titans are going to move forward towards Lexicon. Lexicon could stop and overcharge the Titans, and does do so for one of the Titans. But these Triads gonna go down, and I'm assuming more are gonna go up for Demon Streamer. But Demon Streamer, despite having that gun upgrade, he still needs to be a little bit careful here. He's walking forward, he's trying to shut down the Triads himself, has a Parashield in the area, soaking up so much damage because a lot of these tanks are trying to shoot the commander while going underneath the Parashield. And Demon Streamer now down to sub 5,000 HP. He's just got a rank of veterancy, bringing him back up to around 6,000, but Lexicon full HP, and possibly going to be able to just push in here and kill off Demon Streamer. You're at the sub 20 minute mark, looking horrible for the red UEF player. But he's holding out, and critically, he's holding out with nearly 20,000 mass on his front door. If he stops Lexicon's aggression, that is 20,000 mass just sitting there to be thrown into whatever Demon Streamer desires. but he's falling behind. The map control is really starting to hurt him. Lexicon of just now passing 100 mass a second. And Lexicon looking strong here. 3,000 HP left on that comm for Demon Streamer. He's about to get into the rank of Veteran Seath, so that is a little bit deceptive. But overall, Demon Streamer, yet again, he's still on the back foot this game. He's still just barely holding on to it. Credit to him. Kudos to him for not giving up. Feel like a lot of the player base would have just now. Remember to stay hydrated, folks. Now, of course, Demon Streamer. He's been relatively efficient with his units. He's been getting decent trades via using all of these static defenses and letting his opponent move towards him. And he's been very on top of Reclaim. Despite all the fighting near his base just recently, already has engineers reclaiming all of it. And you can see 23,000 reclaim at 21 minutes. He's averaging over 1,000 reclaim a minute, which is quite good. What's 1,000 divided by 60? Somebody in the chat let me know. How many mechs worth of mass is he getting from reclaim? As over here, Demon Streamer currently throwing everything in the kitchen sink at attacking this northwestern side. I'm not sure why he keeps on going for an attack here. He keeps on eyeing this general area. He wants to attack there with his units. I guess he feels like his main base is defended well enough by the static defenses. And now that he's built up a T2 artillery, it seems like he'll be able to push back any attempt out from Lexicon to set up PD again. But this force here is greatly outnumbered, and I don't think one Titan is quite enough to make something happen. Yeah, in fact, that Titan's very dead. And a good source in the chat, by the way, these are live streamed, telling me that that is in fact 2 T2 mexes worth of mass per second is what he has been averaging throughout this game. That's the power of Reclaim for you folks, and that number is still going up. Now, he's actually increased the amount of mass he's gotten per minute this game. Reclaim per minute needs to be a stat that we can track. Somebody needs to, like, add that into the game. Like APM, I care more about RPM. Revolutions per minute, Reclaim per minute, that is such a better stat for us to track. Now, of course, Demon Streamer over here, working his way to whittling down this large force out from Lexicon, but just doesn't have the mass here to deal with it. And by mass, I mean massive units. Because he's doing pretty alright. He's in fact ahead on total mass generated this game. Basically all of it's in Reclaim. I'm wondering whenever he's going to transition into T3 mexes, because it feels like the logical conclusion. The Reclaim does eventually run out, as he should know. I mean, I guess unless his opponent keeps on doing this, because you also have to remember, every time there's an attack up here, you see how little Reclaim is going on? Or how little wrecks are left over here? Yeah, Demon Streamer is also reclaiming this area. So, overall, all of these fights have been going economically in favor of Demon Streamer. But he's just never really had that critical mass of units built up, and it's really starting to show as he's just struggling to hold anything that isn't his main base at this point. He has managed to get full T2 mexes on this island down here, which is quite impressive. And now Demon Streamer trying to use a handful of Titans to stop an entire platoon of pillars, and it's not looking like it's going to go very well. And now T2 Mex is going to be going down over here as the pillars out from Lexicon push forward. They're going to decide to try and fight the T1 PD. I mean, they'll win, but at what cost? I feel he lost a decent number of tanks for that, and bought more time for Demon Streamer to get up a more solid T3 force to try and handle this. But unfortunately for Demon Streamer, I don't think he has enough to stop this, but he may have enough to scare Lexicon away. And Lexicon should be a little bit scared. The map is dark and filled with UEF. Although I guess Demon Streamer isn't in... Well, he's in a bit of a better situation intel-wise. Now, of course, a bunch of artillery fire trying to gun down this base out from Lexicon, but he's managing to keep the lights on, and by that I mean keep a shield over his stuff. As Demon Streamer continues to try and siege it down, I don't think he's going to get too much effective damage done there in the more standoff type war going on there. And Demon Streamer, his reclaim numbers are slowing down just a little bit. He's still at like 1,500 mass a second, or mass a minute for reclaim, but still, it's slowing down. Has he managed to get any kind of major economic structure? No, he hasn't. He's just capping mexes now. And his T3 force here, the parashield's really buying a lot of time for these Titans to fire. And the Titans kind of are the main thing here. The pillars, they die to one shot from the Percivals. But the Percivals occasionally miss. The Percivals have a lot of HP and such, but their fire rate is so slow that they don't have that great of DPS. And yet another huge wave of units comes in, attacking the base of Demon Streamer. And yet again, all these units gonna get gunned down by, well, mostly PD. The comm of Demon Streamer gonna do a lot more PD going up in the base, meaning that the next attack will have to be... I mean, it really is. He's trying to drown them in the blood of his own units right now. Drown them in the oil of my tanks. And over here to the north. Oh, that's going to be painful. Going to be very painful to see these few units get some economic damage down there. But fortunately for Demon Streamer, you know what that attack means? It means another 16,000 reclaim, baby. Oh man, these attacks keep on coming. Whenever there's no reclaim left, Lexicon builds into it. He plays into it. He throws another attack. He's just feeding Demon Streamer so much reclaim. And we're just gonna leave it on this because you get to see the reclaim number go up in real time. All right, more engineers coming off the line. And you have to imagine... Oh, nope, they're all just assisting. Yeah, reclaim number is going up way, way too fast. 44,000. He's getting close to 2,000 reclaim per minute. He may even reach it, which is quite ridiculous, if I do say so myself. Wonder what this line of T1 PD is for. It's not like Demon Streamer has crossed like this line on the map control wise the entire game. He does have T3 air now though, critically, and for some reason no strat bomber on the way. If he scouts, he'll see that his opponent does not have T3 air, so a strat bomber would be the play for me. He's not going for it. Interesting. Man, both sides are really fond of triads. And, yeah, that reclaim number, he is, yet again, very, very close to 2,000 a minute. He has fully reclaimed that entire fight already. He's also been reclaiming up here where all this fighting happened. 55,000 to sub 20,000 is quite ridiculous. But he's still behind economically. He doesn't have any T3 mexes, and he's in fact losing mexes. He started a Fatboy, but I think he realized he can't actually afford a Fatboy. Like, not anytime soon. Maybe with enough reclaim he could, but it's very unlikely he'll get that amount of reclaim. He's throwing everything in the kitchen sink at a T3 mex upgrade. And, yeah, that'll stall you quite a bit. And he does get it. Unfortunately, it's not one of the mexes that can benefit from full mass storage. I would have preferred to see this one get to T3. But you take what you can get at this point. That T3 air could be a menace, but he's just going for ASF mostly. No real emphasis on trying to get anything other than that on the field. Would love to see a strap bomber or two and just send them out, kill off all these T2 mexes, and you've evened the economic playing field by quite a bit just by doing that. Lexicon now has spearheads out on the field, which are very effective against UEF bases because buzzkills kind of suck. Is there something assisting this shield? It feels like this shield has never gone down despite being pummeled by a clink hammer this entire time. And now a very large T3 force. This is the first force we've seen out of Demon Streamer that is just straight up maybe able to push against Lexicon in a while. Now, the front of the force is going to die very quickly, but all of these Percivals here are going to be very strong. Unfortunately, though, the Percivals will have issue with all of the spam units here. They're going to have to focus down the enemy Percivals first, and then hope that they can kill off these pillars in time, because the pillar is really just going to eat them up. And a drop down here to the southeast. A Titan dropped by Lexicon, trying to shut down the economy over here of Demon Streamer. And it does manage to get a couple of mexes. I wish I knew what tech level those were. One of those could have been tech 3 for all I knew. But I don't think so. I think most of his T3 mexes are in this base. There's 2 here. He's getting up a third. But now with these spearheads added in, Demon Streamer is in a rough position. He's lost his clink hammer on the front line there. And he's now going to start building up a bunch of clink hammers. Basically a line of them going out of his base. He wants to shut down this mobile missile launcher spam as soon as possible. About to have a T3 Pigeon online. Is he having power struggles? Yeah, he will be very soon. Luckily, right now, he's not got enough mass to make that happen, though. And over here to the southeast, Janus kill off the rest of the T2 mexes. That's a little brutal there for Demon Streamer. He's still over 100 mass a second, but he's going to be struggling with this. Lexicon's struggling with power, though. A power stall at the moment, meaning these clink hammers that have just been built will be able to get some damage down. And he is running away now, and I think there might be enough Percivals here, especially with an attack move, to just waltz their way up and kill off all of this. I think the Percival outranges the Triad. It may not. I'm sure Icy Nightmare in the chat will let me know. And yeah, this base gonna fall apart now as Demon Streamer finally gets some aggression down, but he's really run out of reclaim. He's only got 74,000 reclaim. Oh my, he passed it. Guys, he passed 2,000 reclaim a minute. He got like a T3 mex worth of reclaim per minute. Whew, that's ridiculous. And now of course, Demon Streamer going to push forward. And you know for a fact that some engineers are going to show up right here in a minute or two. It's another 13,000 reclaim that will go to Demon Streamer. He's been so on top of this game. Has at least 4 factories just building reclaiming engineers. And I was wrong. The Triad massively outranges the Percival. Now, there are a lot of T2 units over here for Lexicon that could push in and get some more T2 mexes killed, but yet again, I don't think that Demon Streamer particularly cares about map control. He turns his nose up at the idea of controlling the majority of the map. He instead wants to have the best land. He's not worried about having a lot of land. He's a real estate developer, not a real estate hoarder. He wants really good real estate. He's investing in it like a banker. And I have to say, I'm quite impressed he's survived this long in such a hostile market. Now, of course, more units. He's still building T1 units. He did not get the memo that they were useless. And they were useless like 10 minutes ago. And now a bunch of Percivals in the water over here. Not sure why you'd send them in here. They're not going to get anything done sitting in the water there. That's a lot of engineers could think about going Navy. Not that I think Navy would achieve too much for Lexicon. He's kind of already killed off everything that Navy would have killed off. And T3 air has been achieved by both sides. The Percival count for Demon Streamer has gotten a little bit scary here. I mean, it's mostly Titans he's up against. He's really not going to be threatened, but the big thing is if he pushes out right here, his base is, well, I was going to say undefended, but his base still has a lot of defenses in it. And that's a Omni sensor going up. He started working on this Fatboy a long time ago, but I ignored it because there was no build power on it. He threw build power on it for a couple of seconds and was like, no, I need intel. Which is a good thought to have. And that's a bunch of T1 bombers over here to the east. Could send those up against T2 mexes. Get some damage down. Fatboy halfway done for Lexicon 7. Who is over 200 mass a second. Has his first T3 mech set up over here. T1 bombers lay in wait for their opportunity. And the ASF circle ahead. I feel like they're gonna just get shot down. Yeah, they do. Shot down by SAMs that they fly over for no particular reason. I guess they're gonna try and kill these broadswords, but they're gonna die for it. Yeah, well, you know, that wasn't the best trade. Now then, all of the bombers coming in. What are they going for? Seriously, what are they? What are they going for? I guess they were going for the T3 air HQ. That did not turn out well. Fatboy for Lexicon. Probably going to finish before the Fatboy for Demon Streamer, considering he's not even building it yet. But he is getting a lot of T3 mexes up and online, and here soon he's going to have almost the same number of T1 mexes as his opponent has. So we could see Demon Streamer get an economic advantage here, up to 97,000 reclaim at the 40-minute mark. Freaking ridiculous. And it's not like he's necessarily run out of reclaim. I mean, he's kind of run out of reclaim. There's still a decent bit over here that he's going to get. He will get to 100,000 reclaim, believe you me. But he has reestablished himself in a position of power here. I'd like to see more like T2 PD just going up because he hasn't He's at this point, you've lost this particular 6 mechs area enough times. Just make it too difficult for your opponent to do that. And of course, Demon Streamer gonna continue to fire away. Or actually, no, these are all these shots are coming from these Titans. Sorry, zoned out for a second. He's just gonna continue to posture right in front of his base. And this is a Fatboy being built very quickly. But unfortunately for Demon Streamer, there's a Fatboy that's being built a little bit slower, but is going to be done much sooner. And nope, the Fatboy was ignored again. He's like, you know what? I don't have the mass for that. And up here to the north, Lexicon 7 is, of course, pushing forward with all of the strikers yet again. So this area going to continue to be denied for Demon Streamer. And unfortunately, Demon Streamer just needs to kind of send all of his units to his main base. Kind of has to give up this territory, maybe throw up some T2 PD. Because a large attack is coming for the main base, and Lexicon still just using this overwhelming numbers advantage to great effect here. And now a bunch of T1 bombers are going to come out of the base and going to start trying to get real damage down onto the Titans of Lexicon. And Lexicon pulls back here. Curious as to why he didn't decide to push forward. Yeah, you just scouted it. He has the 1 army. You have 2. Go ahead and go in, Lexicon. Maybe he's worried about another mass dump. Maybe he's learned from his ways, but you can't get too timid. And the units out for Demon Streamer really clean up all of those Titans. And now Demon Streamer has 20,000 more reclaim. 20,000 more reclaim. Yep, that... he just keeps doing it. He's just getting away with it. Like, yeah, sure, I'll take a fight, win it, and then take all the reclaim from it too. I will have my cake and eat it too, says Demon Streamer. And we applaud him for that. Alright. That was our action for the next few minutes. Let's go ahead and check on reclaim numbers. 103,000 at 42 minutes. Well over 2,000 mass a second, or mass a minute from reclaim. I keep on saying second. And of course, sitting at a nice 5,000 mass deficit from overall mass generated. And the Fatboy is done, and it's pushing forward, but critically, the Fatboy doesn't have a chance of getting to the base. If Demon Streamer doesn't want it to get the base, or if he wants to just stall it, he just has to keep the Percivals moving towards it. He will lose a lot of Percivals that way, but still. And this Fatboy is just going to finish before the enemy Fatboy could even get to the base anyways. So... Lexicon, despite getting the Fatboy first, really just isn't going to matter. Fatboy wars are basically down to who micros theirs better. And that's a bunch of spearheads now killing off any chance at taking over this area again for Demon Streamer. And that's a Fatboy done for Demon Streamer, and he just has the better T3 army. I mean, as long as he doesn't continue to throw it away on this Fatboy. And in fact, it looks like he may just want to send... He wants to send the Fatboy over to deal with this T2 army. He wants this area under his own control again. And he's going to continue to use the Percivals to posture while he gets all of the reclaim. He's currently getting... he's getting 500 mass a second almost from reclaim at times. That's ridiculous. He is just yet again skyrocketing as far as reclaim goes. And Lexicon has been sitting at over 100 mass a second ahead this entire game. Or not this entire game, but for a little bit now. And Demon Streamer is getting more mass per second because of reclaim. It is quite amazing. And we now have a Novax. Does he do this all the time? He starts the Novax and then stops trying to build it after like 10 seconds. I guess he wants more Percivals, which, if you wanted a Percival production line, this is pretty much the best you're going to get. Damn, that's a fast Percival build. And we now have Mass Broadsword down here on the south that is going to be able to take out all of these T2 mexes down here. Unfortunately for Lexicon, I don't think that Demon Streamer particularly cares about these T2 mexes. I mean, he is, of course, going to send his ASF there and lose all of his ASF, but it's not like the T2 mexes are the real backbone of his economy, let's be honest here. And Lexicon still feels like he's in the driver's seat, still feels like he should just have this game in the bag. I just keep on getting this sinking feeling that Demon Streamer is going to be able to pull it back somehow. He is the first one to even think about investing into some form of standoff tactic. $130,000 reclaim sub 50 minutes. It's just ridiculous. He's working his way up towards 3,000 reclaim a minute. The only thing stopping him from getting there is the fact that Lexicon is getting more timid and not wanting to fight as much. Also, that's a lot of flak and parashields around that Fatboy. Oh, T2 Navy has been finished up for Demon Streamer, and he is going for the tried and true method of, I'm going to build a bunch of governors. And governors deal with broadswords pretty well. The broadswords really should come up here and kill off the T2 naval production before worrying about the governor, but to each his own. And that's a ton of T1 bombers killing off a ton of T2 mexes. Is it a mass efficient trade? Hell no! But is it a pretty one? Yes. Is he going to kill off the T1 anti-air that's killing his bombers with bombers? I think he might. Killed off some of it. And this governor is using... Is it using its missiles to kill off the broadswords? It looked like it was for a second. And the two fat boys that we have over here have done very little. 66 kills for one of them and not even a rank of veterancy. And the other one is at 27 kills and closer to a rank of veterancy. And all of these T2 units are now not consequential anymore. And all of this reclaim has been eaten up by Demon Streamer. I mean, I say, like, things are ridiculous, but Lexicon also has over 1,000 reclaim per minute. They have both been reclaiming quite a bit. It's just that Demon Streamer has 3 times the reclaim, so it's more impressive. Was he trying to build an air grid and accidentally built all the air factories at T1 and now is going to upgrade them to T3? It looks like that. That's what it looks like. Can he afford the power on that? Most certainly he cannot. Can he? Maybe just barely. He's going to need another T3 Pigeon. Lexicon, on the other hand, is having power issues right now and needs to build T3 Pigeons. I think he may have just finished one somewhere. Fatboy on Fatboy violence going on over here. the obese turning on each other. It's never a good sight. And Demon Streamer, as I said, he started having power issues, but the second those... Oh no. If Lexicon takes the fight, his Fatboy's dead. Actually, if the Fatboy of Demon Streamer just keeps pushing forward and attacks the Fatboy of Lexicon, Lexicon's dies because of all the parashields. Oh, Lexicon's shield goes off. Oh, the high explosive's still rolling in. Oh! 192 HP. Woo, that Fatboy was, I mean, he still is very close to death, and multiple strap bombers coming in, but the key thing is, it takes more than 2 bombs to kill the UEF. It takes more than 2 bombs, so none of the T3 mexes are gonna go down. Unless another pass comes through. He's just killed mass storage for all those strap bombers. I mean, 1 T3 mex will go down. Make that 2. Make that 3. It felt a lot more impactful that it required three shots, but I mean, I guess he probably would have gotten all 5 T3 mexes if he did require the full 3. And another big fight going on here at the front door of Demon Streamer's base. I keep hearing strap bombers drop bombs, and I don't know where they're dropping bombs. Oh no, it's Scorchers over here, okay. And despite all of that, the mass economy is still about where it was. You know, 100 mass a second lead for Lexicon. This one is just ridiculous, okay? Another Fatboy done for Lexicon. His first one has managed to actually regenerate quite a bit. Mostly through, I think, killing governors and getting veterancy off that. The governors have managed to kill off quite a few T3 mexes. That was actually surprisingly effective naval play there. If he just sends a T2 engineer over here, he could maybe get the same thing going on there. As more Clink cameras going up to try and deal with the Fatboys, I guess. And I would guess that more mexes are going to be rebuilt back here. Yep, he's rebuilding them at T2. Can upgrade them to T3 at his leisure. A T3 has been built down here, but he hasn't learned from his lessons, so these are just going to be very vulnerable to strap bombers and gunships. But hey, what's the problem if he can just reclaim the mechs after it dies, right? There is no problem. And this Fatboy up to nearing 5,000 HP. 2 Fatboys finished up for Lexicon. Doesn't seem like he really has the land production, though. Like, just all of these Percivals are such a threat on their own. Demon Streamer still not learning from his mistakes. Okay, finally just building a ton of power. Keep on seeing the shields go off. A lot of that's going to be down to all these parashields. Each one soaking up 80 power per second. It's not going to be healthy for his economy. And all of these mexes are going T3 at a rapid pace for Demon Streamer, who is maybe, just maybe, catching up in generated mass economy. With dealing the first bit of economic damage he has in a long time, and with him getting so many T3 mexes on the field, you have to imagine he's going to catch up at some point, right? He is going for the Novax, though, which is a very expensive investment. Let's just check. Mass inland units for both sides. We have a total mass cost of nearly 80,000 for Demon Streamer, and a total mass cost of over 155,000 for Lexicon. Now, that doesn't factor in the cost of, you know, all of the Clink Hammers and Triads and T1PD that are kicking around the base of Demon Streamer. Or the fact that all these parashields add so much health to the pool. I really feel like those mass strap bombers could have just killed the comm of Demon Streamer, but they didn't. And we're looking at Storks now being built to deal with the Governors, which is the more reasonable play as we see strap bombers trying to deal with Governors over here. How many strap bomber wrecks are even over here? Well, that's a broadsword. Oh, well, there's one. There's two. At least two strap bombers died to these Governors that they were trying to kill. And over here to the west, large push from Demon Streamer. Don't know why he's so... Oh, he's gone for Rambo boys. Oh, that's fancy. Loses a Rambo boy right whenever I notice it. Classic. And Lexicon has built yet another Fatboy. He's sitting on 3 of them. He's sitting on the kind of... He's on the precipice of fuck you amount of Fatboys. You know, the amount of Fatboys that you just attack, move, and the game ends level of Fatboys. Generally, as long as you have air control. And... yeah, it's looking pretty dangerous. You have to remember that a lot of these large grouping of units, like especially on this western side, most of those are in fact T1 and T2, so they are irrelevant in this match. And of course, the massive group of parashields here that can, I guess, make this Fatboy damn near invincible. Gonna do their thing. The parashields over here ate up some damage for like 10 seconds, but now with double Fatboy pushing, he's gonna try and use Ramboys and Percivals to hold out. He also has a decent number of Clink Hammers built up in the base, which will be a little bit deceptive if they target down the Fatboys. He may have enough T3 and, of course, Rambo comms to make something happen. A large group of strap bombers coming in, trying to kill off the Fatboy of Demon Streamer, and is he gonna get it? No, not immediately, and that's a lot of flak that's being flown over by both ASFs and, of course, strats, and at a certain point, it's enough. But the Fatboys are moving in, but both of their shields are down, and they are still well within range of all of the T2 artillery. Is the artillery gonna nail them? Is the question. More artillery is in fact going up as we speak. Fatboy out from Demon Streamer making its way over. Shields pop on back on for Lexicon's Fatboys, and he's making progress. He's killed off a lot of build power there that was working on Clank Hammers. His own Fatboy is showing up now, and critically the Fatboys of Lexicon were focused on the base. Now they're going to focus on the Fatboy for just a little bit. It buys him some time. What can he do with that time? He still has T1 bombers, and Jane is trying to make something happen. He still has the occasional Clink Hammer shot flying out, but I don't know if they can reach the Fatboys. Oh! It seems they can. The Rambo production has been halted. Almost got the T3 land HQ. That would have been brutal. But critically, the air grid for Demon Streamer is looking much healthier. He has a lot more air production. And he also has these Governors now over here, so the Fatboys can't stop moving. But there's still 3 Fatboys. It's still incredibly deadly here. He needs more. Oh, wait! T1 bombers and maybe a Clink Hammer shot kill off one of the Fatboys. The other Fatboy gonna eat so much damage from just a couple of Janus, and more Scorchers coming in. And I think Lexicon's having power struggles. His shields keep on flickering on and off for the things that do have shields. This is the last Fatboy left, and critically, we've seen it time and time again, Demon Streamer is closer to the reclaim. And now Air is going to start doing things. He's trying to build up Cougars to stop all the air with the Fatboy, trying to use the Fatboy's production capabilities, but it's just not going to work. And in fact, it stops it so the governors can fire on him. And looks like this Fatboy may just go down. Yeah, that Fatboy does go down. And Demon Streamer has been, listen, if he's a D&D character and he spec'd everything into Constitution, he is nothing if not put together, because it's very difficult to take him apart. If you catch my drift, he is hard to kill. Apparently, if Lexicon had to describe him, he'd say, "Damn dude won't die. Just keeps on being there, staring at me menacingly." And that's a lot of governors. Are they going to be attacked by strap bombers? Is that what's about to? Yeah, that's what. Guys, you want to see a really inefficient use of strap bombers? Because you're about to see it. 3, 2, 1. He doesn't even turn on jamming to give them a chance. Oh look, you lost 3 strap bombers to kill 3 cruiser. Did he kill a cruiser by crashing on top of it? Okay, well, 4 strap bombers for 5 cruisers. I mean, it's a numbers good trade. And for the first time in this game, I might say that Demon Streamer has better map control. Because it's kind of starting to feel like he has better map control. Like, they both kind of don't control most of the map. Like, neither of them have, like, firm map control. But he has soft map control. He has flaccid map control. Flaccid map control. Willow 2023. Yeah, I was watching this Willow cast, and I really just, I thought it was going to be good, but then he started talking about how map control can be flaccid, and I don't know, it's just bad. I think I'm going to unsubscribe. And, yeah. I guess they've reached an impasse, because neither of them seem to be doing anything aggressive other than sending governors. And that's a lot of that's ambitious. But then again, we're looking at the man who has 236,000 reclaim at an hour and 2 minutes. At 62 minutes, he has 241,000 reclaim. He is legitimately, he's over. He's at, wait, is that 4,000 mass a minute? Somebody do the math. How much mass a minute does he have in mexes? Somebody do the math for me right now. I don't do math well. Live stream, help me. You all are here for a reason. It's been 63 minutes and he is exactly at 200, let's just say 260,000 reclaim. Make it whole numbers. 63, 260 divided by 63. Or I guess 263,000 divided by 63. Oh, man. That is ridiculous. And he's getting all of these Fatboy wrecks, too. There's a Novax finished up for Lexicon. But there's going to be a Novax done for Demon Streamer. He's finishing it fashionably late like he did with his Fatboy. And Demon Streamer continuing to kill off Lexicon stuff with governors, and governors continuing to kill strap bombers that kill one governor. Oh my, jeez. 4,126 mass a minute. Okay. Convert that into T3 mexes for me, Icy. I know you can do it. I don't know how much mass a T3 mex makes a minute. Or just convert it, yeah, just convert it into mexes for me. Somebody do that. Somebody do the math. You all are awesome. So the Novax over here is killing off the naval production because that's the most pressing issue, I'm sure. And, yeah. What is Lexicon even doing? He has a Novax. Okay, he's getting another Fatboy. He's building up strat bombers, but he's not. With how many strat bombers he's thrown at the cruisers, he could have just killed Demon Streamer by now. He could have just banked up 30 strats and killed off Demon Streamer. In fact, that seems to be what Demon Streamer's doing right now. Okay, strat snipe coming in for Lexicon. Let's see how effective it is. Here comes the strats. Here come the redcoats. If this is how this game ends. This is how this game ends. That is so... No, it's not! He kills the Novax? Oh, man. It just keeps going. It's like that sentence I casted. T3 mex. It's 18 uncapped or 27 capped. Oh, it's 2.5 T3 mexes per minute. Okay. That's awesome. And, his air grid's gonna go down. His power generators are gonna go down too. Oh, he just control Ks. Okay. Thank you all for watching. You've been beautiful. Thank you to the Patreons and channel members. Speaking of which, special shout out to Stephen Mayer, who became a member while I was casting this game live. Thank you so much. You are so beautiful, Stephen Mayer. And to all the other channel members and the Patreons, I appreciate you. And from the bottom of my heart, stay awesome. You all are beautiful. And this is Willow, signing off. Wait. It said that he won. Oh, wait, no, it said he built an experimental. Wait, shit. I thought it said that he won. Fuck. Oh, man. Damn it. I'm a professional caster, everybody. Fuck. Oh, you know what? No, fuck it. Fuck it. This is over. We're speeding it up. I don't care who wins at this point. There we go. There we go. He did end up dying. That cast was so good. Why did I screw it up at the end? I blame Steven. Steven, I blame you. And I blame the fact that what's it called? That the Supreme Scoreboard got fixed. Supreme Scoreboard got fixed, and the build experimental thing looks the same as person has won the game thing. Oh man. Alright. Well then. Y'all are beautiful. See you in the next one. I already said my outro. This is Willow signing off.